So just start with, can you tell us a little bit about, who Paul Blake is and how, the sort of event sort of came about?
For the shop, it's just a really cool thing to have somebody like Paul Blake, which perhaps people don't know the name, but when you say who he played in such an iconic film like the 1977 Star Wars, the film that I know it was such a massive deal for me and such a big deal for Chris, who does the shop with me. So he played the character of Greedo in the famous scene with Han Solo early on in the film in the cantina. So yeah, it just got to be great. It's such a small role, but for what a role that sticks in people's heads. That's the magic of that film, really. I think it's so many characters, which was so well done. And so to have him come to this shop, strangely, it was a wonderful promotion company called Koala Bear Promotions from Australia, strangely. Who got in touch a while ago. They helped us set up the Mike Quinn event, which we had, which is another Star Wars event. He played 9-Nub. And yeah, this time we've got Paul Blake coming as well, so really looking forward to it.
Yeah, and what does it mean to have characters like that, like Paul Blake and previously Mike Quinn, who've been in like massive projects like Star Wars, to come to the 80s video shop in Alfreton?
It's pretty crazy, really, I think, if you step back and look, because if you'd told me, one of the things I do going through life, and I think Chris does a similar thing to me, is like, when you think, is this a good idea or is this a smart thing to do? It's like, always go back and ask what your childhood self would think. So would 15-year-old Rob Lane think it's cool that a guy from Star Wars is coming to the shop? Like, heck yeah, it would. So yeah, really excited. And I think it's a really cool thing. And it's nice for them to come to these events and they don't get lost in the shuffle when there's like a dozen other guests at the convention. So for them to come to this shop, the 80s video shop in Alfreton, and it all be about them and just people come to see that, I think it's a really cool thing.
Yeah, yeah. And what's this sort of response been so far from firstly the local community in Alfreton, and then obviously with the 80s video shop being a sort of national sort of thing for people online as well?
I mean, it's interesting because everything's done online these days. Pretty much all the promotion is. We're still old school. We're still going to the town, put posters up, which strangely still you wouldn't think that would have a big effect, but it does. People do still see posters or pick up a flyer every now and again, but everything else is online. So it's hard to tell this particular, if you want to call it a campaign for Paul Blake coming this weekend, it's got a really good response. Now, I don't know if that's from the local people or if it's, like you said, nationwide. So it'll be interesting to see how far afield people are going to come this weekend. So yeah, it's always very humbling when people say they've traveled 2 or 3 hours into the area.
Yeah, and you sort of already slightly touched on it in your previous questions, but do you think sort of celebrity appearances and events like this, not just at the 80s video shop, but any kind of unique business in Alfreton, do you think events like this can really sort of put Alfreton on the map?
Absolutely, yeah, and that's one of the things we really want to do. Don't want to get too big for his boots, if you like, and just focus on looking after people who come here, make sure they have the best time possible, treat them well, and yeah, it's just lovely to see people's reactions when they come in. It can only help boost the local area and, like I say, put it on the map.